Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In this video I'd like to look at how the large degree trend using our DPs and WPTs etc can help eliminate what would otherwise be not necessarily losing trades but trades that didn't work out. For example, here is a 3-minute chart of the ES for yesterday, which is August the 27th, and as you can see we had a buy set up on the chart here. If I put the analysis on, it went to the 100% initial risk level but then started to decline afterwards. The STF was red, therefore it was a standard MTPredictor trade setup. So the question I'm asking is, could the use of the 15-minute charts, which we talk about a lot in MTPredictor, helped avoid this otherwise losing trade? And this is what we talk about when we talk about MTPredictor users going from the standard trade management guidelines, which we suggest all new users that you do, because they keep you on the right side of the curve by using the STF color, which will give you the idea of the large degree trend most of the time. However, like any other technical analysis indicator, it's lagging. So therefore we want something that we can use that's leading, and for this we use our DPs on our large degree time frame charts. To show you what I mean, let's go to the 15-minute chart. If I scroll back to before yesterday even opened, which was there, now you can see we had a pivot swing on the chart here. So what I can do is put our decision point, and as you can see here, it's actually on the chart in advance. Now that's the beauty of that. If I zoom in a bit, see, there it is on the chart in advance, so you knew that that was a resistance area. As the market moved forward, you can see that actually went up and actually found a high there just at the start of the day. Now that would have been great, because if I go back to the 3-minute chart, you can see we had an automatic DP sell. So first of all, you could have actually got a short trade coming off that high there. Didn't quite meet the first target, but you could have gone down there for a small profit as the market went down into that consolidation. Particularly as when you look at other markets, for example, the YM, which did go right the way down to its DP level at that point. Same with the Russell Index, caught it absolutely beautifully. So when these other markets reached their levels, you could have taken your stop down to, well, at the very least, lock in a small profit, perhaps just above that high. But the one I want to look at is after that initial decline, excuse me, the market then came down, it then went up and made another high here. Now the point being is that this, again, you could have had your decision point on the chart in advance. So again, if I scroll forward like this, take that off, you can see how this can be on the chart in advance before the market gets there. And that's the important point. It's a leading indicator. So it's a leading area that you knew in advance that you could be looking for resistance there. If I scroll forward, that actually went up, now the very high of the day before the market carried on to decline down. So the question being is, if we now concentrate on this point in time, and we say that we knew that around the 11:30 area we had a larger degree 15-minute resistance area, the question being is what would you be looking to do, I'll just clear that off, when the market was declining down at this point in time, which was 12:30, an hour later, with the trend now down. So I'll just put this same decision point area on. There it is, exactly the same. That would have been the 15-minute high as well. So here you were at 15-minute resistance. You knew that the market was going to decline down. So the question being is, was this buy setup now with the large degree trend or against it? Well, now we know by use of our leading DPs on the 15-minute charts that this was actually against the larger degree trend. And if we look at the other 15-minute charts, you can see on the Russell Index we actually had a TS4 automatic buy setup coming at that time that was also at the decision point resistance. So on the Russell Index we nailed the very high of the day there on the 15-minute chart. The YM wasn't quite so clear, it just made a double top. If we go to the NQ, therefore we also had an automatic DP sell. So the point being is that at the high of the day yesterday we had 3 out of the 4 markets all telling us that there was going to be a resistance on the larger degree charts. So that's why it set the larger degree trend down from about the 1130 area. That's why you should not have been focusing on buy setups, you should be looking at short trades. So if we skip through the other markets, you can see you would have avoided this otherwise losing trade here on the YM. Russell Index was lovely, the way we caught the very low of the day there perfectly with that decision point support, and the very high of the day with that decision point resistance. That was absolutely beautiful. And as we've already discussed, the trend was down after this 1130 high, therefore you'd have avoided this TS2 buy setup. But the market that I liked was this this one on the NQ. Now if I zoom in a bit, I'll just take that, I'll take everything off and start again. Now what I liked about this is we've already known that from this 1130 high the trend was down. If I put the DP on from here, you can see how that nailed the very high of the day for you. Now with the trend down, we should not be looking for buy setups here, we should be looking for sell setups, and this is what unfolded here, a very nice TS3 sell setup. Now it's against the blue STF, but we know the trend's down, therefore you could take this particular sell setup. Put the analysis on, it went to the first target. Now here's a little tip for the more advanced traders among you. There's one thing I do say about an area where markets will very often go to, and that's based on the last swing into the high or low. So what I'm looking at here, do you see I'm moving my mouse across that last swing? Do you remember here we were nailing the high of the day? We go back to this pivot low here, which is the low of the last swing going up into that high. If I put the decision point on for that, this is very often where a market will actually go to when it's looking to move off an important high or low. And lo and behold, that nailed the very low of the day on the NQ for you. So of course, as the market's getting down to this low here, you're already short. The time here is only literally within the last half an hour of trading, so the sensible thing to do would be to, at the very least, start to trail your stop just above the bar highs or lows. And if I look at the volume, this bar here, it wasn't a high volume VSA spike. It would have been nice if it was, but it wasn't. But nevertheless, can you see how the market came down into this particular level, which again was on the chart in advance, that then hit that low before it was reversing? So using the larger degree chart and also our decision point tools, it allowed you to avoid some otherwise losing trades as we've seen on the ES, but more importantly it allowed us to then take this TS3 sell setup here that allowed us to run this short trade down into what was pretty much the low of the day. And as we've already seen, this DP nailed the high of the day. So the tools in MTPredictor did a very good job of nailing turns in the market yesterday and helping to define the larger degree trend, and as such allowed MTPredictor users to uncover this great TS3 sell that resulted in a nice plus 4R profit. So a good day overall for MTPredictor on the USE minis yesterday.